My beloved, hush your scrolling and quiet the thousand little voices that tell you this is just another message. This is different. Listen with the ear of your heart, not with the weary skepticism that has kept you small for too long. Before the first breath of your life, I knew you. Before your name was spoken, I had already counted the days that would bring you to this moment. Tonight, a word arrives that is not for many but for you alone. A millionaire's last wish, strange as it sounds, has been set like a seed in the soil of providence, and somehow, by ways you will not yet understand, your name rests on the edge of that promise. Do not dismiss this because it wears an unlikely coat. Heaven speaks in unexpected voices. What seems improbable may be the very channel I use to bring restoration. Do not let doubt swallow this before it has a chance to live. I know how the world has taught you to mistrust good things when they come too easily or from surprising places. I know how your history has trained your eyes to look for the catch. But hear me, some doors open simply because I say they will. The last wishes of the faithful sometimes become instruments of mercy. When a life has been lived with both dignity and generosity, the echo of that life can land in ways that bless those who least expect it. If a wealthy heart chose to give away what they cherished most at their ending, it may be that generosity has found its way to you. Receive this gently, without making it into a test you must pass by disbelief. There is a seriousness to what I say now. This is not flippant. If the inheritance named you, it is not because of chance, but because of a chain of small, faithful acts that connected you to a wider story. Maybe you prayed for a stranger. Maybe you gave without notice. Maybe you showed kindness to someone no one else thought to help. Small things ripple. Do not underestimate the quiet choices you have made. They have more consequence than you imagine. Acts done in secret are often the very deeds by which fate chooses to nod toward you. The millionaire's heart may have been moved by a story you do not know. And in that movement, I have placed a key in your hand. You may be tempted to ask, why me? I will answer plainly, because I see the tenderness in you that will not be corrupted by sudden favor. I know who will handle blessing with an open palm and who will close their fist around it. I have watched your life being formed, your patience, your refusal to become bitter, your small, stubborn faith that continues even when the world seems stingy. Those are the things that qualify you, not some merit made public. Humility is a rare currency in the market of the proud. I trade in it. If the wealthy one left a last wish naming you, it is because somewhere along the way, your life resonated with what the giver had been looking for. Someone who would steward well, someone who would use the gift to heal rather than to heap. Now, practical tenderness. When a transfer of such gravity appears, every spirit is stirred. Some will rush, some will scheme, some will fear. You must move, yes, but move with a heart that is steady. If the papers arrive, if the call comes, if the instructions appear on that day, I will not lead you into recklessness. Test every document with wisdom. Engage counsel that is wise and gentle. Keep your integrity as your first priority. Do not allow greed or haste to frame the moment. Remember that true inheritance is not only legal, it is moral. Use what comes to repair what needs repair. Pay the debts that narrow the soul. Restore dignity where shame once stalked. Let the thing you receive be medicine for the parts of life that have been sick. Listen carefully to the impulses I will place in you when the hour arrives. Many will feel the rush of impulse to shout, to prove, to spend loudly to prove worth. Resist that loud voice. Instead, let there be a quiet prayer. Teach me to steward what you give. Ask for discernment before action and for patience when excitement makes your hands tremble. Great favor often arrives with a need for great discipline. If you will steward wisely, you will not only preserve what is given, you will multiply it into something that blesses many. There is also a relational weight to this. Some surprises of provision expose which friendships were shallow and which were true. Be cautious of those who appear to love what you can give rather than who you are. Protect your heart from flattery and maintain the rhythms that have kept you grounded. Regular silence, faithful work, the companionship of those who loved you before the promise. Invite counsel from people who will speak truth gently, people who will not be dazzled, but will help you discern the contours of right use. Let your first circle be small and faithful, not performative. If this transfer is indeed to be opened on a specific day, marked in your mind as a threshold, treat that day both as an altar and a test. Make space for prayer. Declare humility and gratitude. Keep a ledger of confirmations, small signs that assure you this is what it appears to be. Record the calls, the letters, the witnesses. This is not paranoia, it is wisdom. Memory guards faith against the slow erosion of doubt. When the paperwork calls you forward, keep your heart bent toward generosity and repair. Make a plan before celebration. Celebrate. Yes, let joy be unclenched and free, but plan so that joy does not become an excuse for waste. You will also face voices that whisper, "This cannot be from God," or "This is too good to be true." Those voices have their place. Prudence has value. But do not let a cynic's permanent residency in your mind kill the good God intends. Distinguish between healthy skepticism that seeks wise counsel and a soul habit of cynicism that refuses to see mercy when it knocks. Test the thing, verify the sources, listen to wise counsel, and then, if the way is clear, step through with gratitude and a steady hand. Let me speak to your fear of outcome. It is natural to fear the implications, who you might become with sudden resources, how relationships could bend, how attention could change. These fears are honest, and they can be channeled into prudence rather than paralysis. Ask for the grace to be unchanged in the things that matter: love, humility, integrity, tenderness. If money or title comes to you, let your measure of success still be the capacity of your heart to be kind, to forgive, to offer shelter to the hurting. Let your identity remain not in what you receive, but in who you are in me. This is not merely about a transfer of wealth. It is about a transfer of responsibility, to steward, to repair, to rebuild, to plant. Let this be a moment where your life steps into a wider utility. Use resources to free others, to create chances where none existed, to restore dignity to places that were marred. When generosity is your first instinct, you will find the blessing multiplies in ways that legal documents never guarantee. Blessed stewardship is the true inheritance of the faithful. Finally, breathe. Whatever arrives on that appointed day, anchor yourself in the simple, eternal truths that never change. You are loved, you are chosen, you are enough. The surprising notes of fortune will not recompose your worth. They will only provide instruments with which you can play a new song. If the door opens and the papers bear your name, walk through with reverence. If the door remains closed, do not be shaken. God's economy is larger than the moment's appearance. Either way, let your posture be one of humble trust and generous hands. Beloved, this part one is a frame, a calm place in which to stand as the day approaches. Keep this steadiness in your bones. Stay close to prayer. Keep wise counsel near, and let gratitude shape your first words. When the time comes, move with courage, patience, and a heart ready to use what you receive for healing and generous repair. I have written your name on a hopeful page. Now let us see how the story unfolds with mercy, wisdom, and love. My beloved, come closer and let me continue to steady your heart for what is ahead. Now that you have felt the first warmth of this word, there are deeper, practical tenderings I want to lay upon you, so that when the moment arrives, you will not only receive, you will steward. There are ways to walk that keep your feet from stumbling when the gifts come. Simple practices of prudence, of worship, of accountability, of love. Hear these as instructions of care, not as burdensome rules. They are lamps to lighten your path, not chains to drag you down. First, prepare your inner room. Before any large door swings open, purify the space within. This means naming the grievances and secret bargains you have made to survive. Confess the ways you have hardened, so you will not harden more when favor arrives. Confession clears the debris that blocks wise reception. It is not a ceremony to earn favor. It is a clearing that lets grace land. Speak your truth aloud to me and to one trusted friend who loves you enough to pray and to speak tenderly the truth you need to hear. The presence of honest witnesses keeps pride from hollowing out joy. Second, assemble counsel you trust. When wealth or influence shifts, decisions multiply and voices multiply with them. Choose 2 or 3 people who know both the ways of the world and the ways of the Spirit. A prudent financial mind, a humble spiritual guide, a steady friend who loves you without spectacle. Give them permission now to speak into your life when the hour comes. The quickest way to be led astray is to have no one who will say, "Slow down," when your heart wants to race. Wisdom is not merely information, it is the courage to accept correction. Third, document and verify. If formal papers, calls, or instructions arrive, do not let joy blind your due diligence. Verify identities, consult legal counsel, keep receipts, and set up clear records before transferring anything. Simultaneously, record confirmations of small signs, names, times, messages that point to the authenticity of what is happening. Memory preserved is faith guarded. Prudence is not distrust of God. It is respect for the fragile world through which blessing must travel. Fourth, make a plan for immediate relief and long-term good. If the blessing includes provision, split the first wave into at least three parts: immediate necessities and restorations, debts, urgent repairs, medical needs, foundational building, savings, health, tools that increase capacity, and generosity, seed giving to care for others and to honor the one who gave. This triage keeps celebration from becoming a season of regret. It trains your hands to give and to secure, to love and to last. Fifth, practice small acts of distribution now. Even before the larger thing arrives, take one small step of generous giving this week: a meal shared, a debt partially relieved for someone behind you, a short hour of your time with someone who needs presence. These small acts tune your heart to circulate blessing rather than hoard it. They form spiritual muscle memory that will hold you steady when abundance arrives. Sixth, protect relational boundaries. Sudden change can reveal who is with you for what. Decide now what your first responses will be to requests. Who will you help? How often? And under what conditions? These predecisions prevent guilt-driven generosity that empties you. Teach people how to receive from you without making you their whole economy. Loving boundaries are holy. They keep generosity sustainable. Eighth, plan for transparency. Decide to publish a simple account of how you use significant gifts, not for show, but for accountability. Transparency prevents the corrosion of secrecy and invites others into integrity. When generosity is public, it becomes communal medicine. Keep good records and be willing to answer kindly when asked. This posture invites trust rather than suspicion. Ninth, repair first. If there is damage left from seasons of scarcity, relationships broken by the strain of debt, promises that were postponed, use what arrives to mend what you can. Repairing wrongs is the quickest way to make blessing durable. Money given to restore dignity multiplies far beyond what a new purchase can offer. Think restoration before recreation. Let your first acts be reconciliatory. 10th, cultivate a slow celebration habit. Joy is holy. Haste is risky. Create ceremonies for gratitude that are not cluttered by consumption. A modest meal with those who stood with you. A quiet time of reflection and thanksgiving. A simple offering to a cause that once fed your soul. Marking the moment with intention ensures that joy is remembered, not squandered. 11th, prepare for opportunistic voices. Know the signs of manipulation, pressure to act secretively, demands for your private information, offers that sound too beautiful without clear substance. If someone asks you to pay to receive or to keep the process hidden, step back and verify. God's gifts do not require you to betray your integrity. Wisdom protects both you and the people you are meant to bless. 12th, invest in your capacity. Use part of what arrives to increase your ability to sustain good. Learning, counseling, healthcare, small business tools, or training. The most generative use of a gift is that which increases your ability to give and to nurture. Strengthen the vessel so it can carry more without breaking. 13th, entrust privacy with humility. Some blessings require discretion, others rejoice in testimony. Discern by prayer and counsel whether to keep the details close or to tell the story widely. Let humility guide publicity. Let testimony guide stewardship. 14th, practice gratitude rituals with your household. Make Thanksgiving a family habit. Teach children and companions that blessings come with responsibility. Include them in decisions about repair, saving, and generosity. A shared heart of gratitude prevents isolation when change occurs. 15th, pledge a legacy posture. Decide now, not later, that whatever you receive will be used to seed futures greater than your name. Think education, community projects, jobs created, dignity restored. Legacy thinking shifts your choices from short-term pleasure to enduring impact. Beloved, these practices are not legalism, they are love applied. They are the scaffolding on which a generous life can be constructed. When the day named in your heart arrives, move with both joy and discipline. Receive with both wonder and wisdom. Let each step be prayerful. Lord, teach me to steward well. And let your first acts be healing, thoughtful, and generous. Keep your eyes on the small confirmations as they come. Keep your heart open to surprise, but not gullible. Keep your hands ready to give even as you learn to keep. This is not only an opening of doorways, it is the forming of a life that will bear blessing onward. Walk in this with steadiness, and you will find that what is given will not only provide for you, but will multiply goodness into places you could not have foreseen. Beloved child, let us now seal this message, for the hour of its fullness draws near. You have walked with me through the promise, through the preparation, through the wisdom that steadies your hands, and now I call you to stand ready for the unveiling. Do not think it strange that I chose you. Though your mind may whisper unworthiness or your past may echo doubt, I saw your nights of silence. I counted your tears. I measured the weight you carried without complaint, and I judged you fit to hold what others could not. The world saw your limits. I saw your capacity. The world named you small. I named you chosen. Now hear this final word. What is being released is more than wealth, more than title, more than earthly recognition. It is the unfolding of a destiny that was written long before you struggled to survive. The inheritance of S is only the outward garment. The deeper gift is the mantle of trust and the power to steward change. You are not being made an owner only of material possession, but a vessel of divine strategy. You will carry influence into rooms you once thought closed. You will heal wounds with kindness made possible through provision. You will break cycles of lack not only for yourself, but for generations after you. The millionaire's last wish naming you is not chance. It is heaven's orchestration to show that I can elevate whomever I will at the appointed time. Do not fear the scale of it. Where your skill feels too small, my strength will compensate. Where you lack experience, I will send mentors and guides. Where you feel alone, I will surround you with loyal hearts. Walk boldly, but not arrogantly. Walk humbly, but not timidly. Keep your heart tender, your ears open, and your hands unclenched. What you release in generosity will never reduce you. It will only expand the flow. What you hold with fear will decay, but what you hold with trust will multiply. Remember the day and hour that was spoken to you. September 19th is not simply a date on a calendar. It is a signpost of heaven's orchestration. Keep your spirit awake, keep your heart attuned, and keep your faith expectant. The movement of angels is not delayed, and their assignment concerning you is clear. They are arranging, confirming, protecting, and delivering. When the call, the message, or the paper arrives, do not dismiss it in doubt. Receive it with discernment and answer with gratitude. But above all, know this: your greatest wealth is not the gift, but the giver, not the inheritance, but the intimacy. When you hold what I place in your hands, hold me closer still in your heart. When others come to you because of what you now carry, remind them it is not your glory, but mine. When the day feels overwhelming, step back into my presence and let me remind you that you are still the same beloved one who prayed in secret when no one saw. I crown you now not only with favor, but with responsibility, not only with resources, but with resilience, not only with opportunity, but with vision. Walk as one entrusted, not as one entitled. Live as one appointed, not as one accidental. Let your story be a testimony that when God decides to lift, no barrier can hold you down. So arise, beloved. The heavens have spoken. The angels have gone before you. The name has been written, and the seal has been set. A last wish has become your new beginning. Do not delay in fear. Do not shrink in doubt. Do not bury the gift in silence. Step forward, open the door, claim what is rightfully appointed to you, and let the world see what it means when God says, I have reserved something only for you, and now it is time. Go now in courage, in joy, in humility, and in unstoppable faith. This chapter is yours.